All right, guys, time to take another look at Borderlands.
All right.
Back to Pandora.
Drew and Brad, are you ready for the PC version of Borderlands?
I thought I was,
Yeah.
but I don't know now.
That's, yeah, in the moments leading up to us starting to record this is the very beginning of the game. We're just getting into it now. We were both shocked by the requirement and inclusion of GameSpy IDs if you want to play online.
For everything, right?
Yeah, well, if you want to play
Matchmaking.
online, yeah. Well,
Everything online, I mean.
yeah.
All the matchmaking, all the anything.
Is all based off a GameSpy ID, as opposed to, integrating with Steam or having their own login or something like that.
Yeah, with that and Steam, it sort of seems like a Russian egg doll
Yeah.
sort of thing going on. It's kind of confusing.
Yeah, so this is the beginning of the game, which I get the impression that even if you haven't played this game yet, you've probably seen this bit before.
You know what skags are.
But we kind of just wanted to show how the PC version runs.
It's definitely smoother.
It's definitely, definitely get the impression that it's got a better frame rate and, obviously like a higher resolution. This is a 720 that it's running out here.
It's like some kind of nicer lighting effects, maybe.
You see, I can kind of click on stuff in these areas to... Oh, I can't click on that, though.
Gotta use the keys.
Got to use the keys for that.
Weird.
To get around some of the HUD stuff, so I can click through this. But it doesn't, I'm not like dragging weapons over to slots. It feels like they just kind of barely took the console interface and made it work with a mouse. So I have to click here, then click there, which, granted, pretty minor. But I guess they'd been talking up the PC version pretty heavily. So in the context of that, like, it seems a little. This seems like it was a console game that they put on a PC and made it look better because that's what you do. You can't do anything really. You can kind of drag the map around and zoom in and out. One of the things now that I've spent about 60 hours playing Borderlands.
It's a lot of hours.
Yeah. One of the things that I wish it had, and this applies to every version, not just this one, is you can't drop any kind of waypoints on this map.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like that as well.
And that's, there are definitely a few cases where that would have been good to have. So just doing these first few missions where we're going to go buy a shield after we fix the vendor over the, like, straight up, at this point, I've got the first few hours of this game so clocked.
Do it with your eyes closed.
Kinda. I was doing it with no sound while we were filming some other stuff in here a little while ago. I was like, yes, no, I know, Claptrap is talking at this part. I understand.
And yet, after 60 hours, you have made another soldier.
Absolutely. That is scientific research that I've done with all 4 character classes. The soldier is the way to go. Maybe you play a different way. That way is wrong.
I noticed when you got a critical on that skag, the blood cloud that kind of came up.
Yeah.
Like, subconsciously, I was expecting a frame rate drop there.
Right.
From the Xbox version,
Yeah.
but that didn't happen, so kind of psyched about that.
Okay, so again, I hate it when this first machine taunts me with a shield that I can't yet afford that heals, so I'm stuck having to go with the... Oh, did I buy that?
You cancel. There it is, PC interface in action.
Boom.
I'm surprised they had a health recharging shield that early.
That definitely does happen.
I don't remember getting one of those till like level 10 or 12 or something.
Oh, I pretty much on my main, I found a healing shield pretty much right away and stuck with them through like the entire game.
Do you wish?
So I don't actually have to click on that stuff to select it. You just click on it to
hit
do
a button.
It. Yeah.
Almost as if you were hitting an A button.
Almost as if you were hitting an A button.
Can you plug in a controller?
Absolutely. It does have full gamepad support. It has a aim assist in it, which I think is mainly for that Call of Duty style snap to when you do the zoom in, and maybe that's more exaggerated with a gamepad than it is here.
Do you wish they had any kind of online sort of character repository? Do you think it would be at all unrealistic to hope for some kind of cross-platform character availability?
I think that's ridiculous.
All right.
I mean, let's be, the business
obviously-
interests involved in making cross-platform stuff happen.
90% of people are going to play it on one platform.
Yeah, and it's you can't even get people to agree when they do have it for between Windows machines and the Xbox. Then all people do is complain about how that stuff is so un-PC like and all that stuff. So it's hard to say what people really want. You have a lot of people that really have been playing PC games for a very long time and like their PC games a very specific way, and as soon as you deviate from that, they start a petition.
As we have seen recently.
But then at the same time, well, whatever. I'll save the soapbox stuff for somewhere else. But
Save it for the podcast.
player
man.
matching has kind of moved on. They've found ways to make that work, and
Shoot that barrel that guy's
that's
standing
not
next
to say that requiring a GameSpy ID is the way to do it, though.
I agree with you. So,
I feel like I just bought a third-tier first-person shooter in 1998. Like, here you go, we got GameSpy support. Like, really? That's still a thing? There's still a GameSpy? Somewhere Will Tuttle is matching players right now. Like, okay, this guy should play with this guy.
by hand.
By
manually.
hand.
Are the iron
Wait a minute.
sights hold or toggle?
It's hold. We should check and see if there's a toggle. Let me get out of danger here real quick. If I pick up some combat rifle ammo, I will have a better shot at making this go quickly.
Nobody shoots my buddies but me!
What are we running this on, Brad?
Our intrepid producer wants to know. Okay, before we get to that, Vinny, since there's a bunch of loot here, yeah. So has that little heads up pop up thing changed at all for the loot
No.
in this?
No, see, it appears right there.
I always felt like it was really weird that you have to basically be looking down at the ground to read that thing.
Well, I always found it was the other way, where I'd have to look down at the ground to pick it up, and then I'd have to
Or you're
look
right. That's
up.
actually
to-
you're
to
right.
see
You're
it.
right. You're right. It actually would
So
float
yeah,
above
here's
here.
some guns.
All right, we got guns.
Like it felt like that thing should just be centered in your perspective and not attached physically to the gun.
Well, it does move a little bit here.
A little bit,
That
yeah.
doesn't. But yeah, you definitely, if you get up real close to it like
Yeah.
this, you end up with this situation where you're like, all right.
A little hard to read.
Yeah.
So the PC that we're running this on, man, I just built it like what, a month ago. I can't quite remember everything that's in here. It's a Core i7. I want to say a 920.
Sounds about right.
I think it's 920. It's a GeForce 2. Was it
65.
It's in the 200 something series. It's 260, 265 GTX.
4 gigs of RAM?
I think 6. I think 6 gigs in this thing.
Is it really?
So that's what we're running this thing on. I have it on authority that this game will run well on lesser hardware. This
Seems
is
to be running really well.
Like
It
an
is.
Xbox.
yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, the frame rate was perfectly adequate in the Xbox, but certainly not.
Totally. There were
not close to
noticeable
this.
drops. Noticeable
Not-
drops.
Not even close
But-
to this. So if you like your frame rate, maybe play this one, and don't mind GameSpy.
What you need to know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's it. It's definitely like this. I was poised to. I was expecting this one to be like far and away the best version of the game, but
Yeah, the way they were talking about it, leading up to release,
and performance-wise, that definitely seems like the case.
And graphically, I mean, it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah. But for the way the player matching stuff's built, which as soon as we did log in and try and get a list of games, the game practically locked up. It was choking on the list of players.
Well, to be fair, it just unlocked like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, so there's probably a lot of people playing it, but
Oh,
trying to play.
You? One more step.
it's a
and
good game. There should always
Yeah.
be a lot of people playing it. You
Sure.
know.
You should have seen the look on your face.
Do you know how many different avenues this game is available through besides Steam? Retail box, I assume.
There's retail box, but I that might be all. I don't know.
Hey now, you ever need anything?
Kind of makes you wish they had just gone through Steam or Steamworks for everything. You know?
Yeah, I feel like,
I'm not quite sure what went into that decision, but
well, as we all know, Steam is bad and a conflict of interest and so on and so forth.
sure.
Do you know if you buy it at a retail store and install it, does it do the Steam thing?
No part of the game requires
Okay.
Steam. They didn't integrate any of the Steam stuff at all, even in the Steam version of the game. So, no Steam achievements. no Steam Cloud. But when you're playing it on Steam, you can bring up the Steam overlay if that's your thing.
Right. You probably can't like join someone who's playing Borderlands on your friends list or something.
I don't know if they've figured out a way to do that, to pass like GameSpy connections through to the way Steam stuff works. I'd guess no, but maybe they've been smart about that stuff and figured out a way to make it work. I'm guessing not. We've got to get TK Baja's food.
I'm guessing we've probably seen about all there is to see that's relevant to the PC version.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me get out of this real quick, and we'll compare a couple of weapons and see how that works. See if they've cleaned that up a bit. And I do want to see if you can choose to hold on. It's mouse 2 for the zoom in.
Okay.
So I want to see if there's a way to make it hold the
toggle.
zoom. Yeah.
As opposed to a button hold.
Also, well, obviously you can remap this stuff, but V is for melee attacks. Which the amount of time you spend using that melee attack in here.
You use melee a lot?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like it seems like you're cheating in a way because like okay, so I'm shooting a gun here. So that I can reload.
Okay.
If you watch the reload animation,
Yes.
as soon as he jams that gun in there, you can melee out of it.
Oh, and then you still
So
have the
you're
ammo
getting an
reload?
attack in and then popping back up with your gun.
Wow.
So
Frame counting.
You have spent a lot of time playing this game.
yeah, there is my if I
Pro
could
tip.
bestow a pro tip on you out there looking to play some Borderlands, that would be it. Know when to use the melee.
Man. So it's right after the clip meets the gun?
Yeah, you can actually look at the ammo counter and see
Oh,
as soon
wow,
as it
yeah.
fills back up,
Oh, look at
you can
that.
pop out of it. So it may not be faster than an actual reload, depending on which weapon you're using, but you get a melee attack out of
Sure.
it, so it's beneficial for you to be hitting people as often as possible.
Words to live by,
Yeah.
clearly.
So we'll go get his food, and then he'll say go buy grenades, and then he'll say go kill Nine Toes, and then there's all those separate Nine Toes quests and stuff. But we're just about close to level 5 where we get the action skill.
This game moves pretty quick early on.
Yeah,
Level-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've decided to reopen my
So yeah, let's see what it has in terms of. So. Doesn't look like there's any. Yeah, I mean you can invert look and change the sensitivity, but doesn't look like there's any kind of way to hold. To change that to a toggle for aiming.
I really like their fake Xbox controller.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good fake Xbox controller. So tab to bring up this stuff, and let's take a look at. Yeah, so
About the same.
this is a little bit faster just because you can mouse up and down instead of having to use the gamepad to go up and down, which is nice because this is probably the comparing weapons is probably the clunkiest part of the entire UI. So this still seems like it could have been done a little better, but by comparison, I prefer the speed of which you can do this. So that's not too shabby.
Do you ever wish there was just like an ideal loadout button? You just hit it and it gives you like it puts all the highest DPS stuff in your slots.
I wish that there were a few more numbers associated with weapons,
Sure.
like DPS.
Yeah, you know, I guess they don't even break that out, do they?
Yeah, they say damage,
Yeah.
but you know, I get the impression that my like 3-shot burst combat rifle does way more damage than a machine gun with a higher damage rating.
Totally.
Than like a fully auto combat rifle with a higher damage rating, which makes no sense.
Well, you have to look at the damage and the refire and stuff, and then just kind of intuit which ones are the best ones.
But even still, you know, looking at the numbers just on that weapon and the refire rate and that sort of stuff, it doesn't add up.
Right.
But when I shoot it, it hits for like 1,200 because of all the proficiencies and all that stuff. Whereas like a weapon that has like practically like double the damage number and a way higher refire rate because it's firing full auto, it doesn't add up. So I get the impression that there's just, you know, some math there that they're not revealing, or I'm reading it wrong.
Numbers, man. Can't trust them.
Yeah, that's If we learned anything.
I'm gonna blame it on logarithms and perhaps also derivatives.
These are all likely culprits.
That's
Deathly
stuff.
Cobra.
Oh wow, it's purple. Buy it.
That is not a bad weapon. I can't afford it, but
rob that machine. Buy it anyway. Take
Yeah.
it. It's not working.
just be able to just shoot it and get a discount.
Vending machine looting, not a feature of Borderlands PC.
Now you know. So there you have it. That's Borderlands for the PC. My early, based on just playing this for like an hour or something like that, and haven't played all versions of it to death at this point, I think I would probably still stick with a console version just for the easier player matching stuff and,
Sure.
and all that. But at the end of the day, I guess that's a pretty minor distinction. So you're probably okay with any of them, unless you're like us and have a really unhealthy dislike of GameSpy's player matching crap.
No.
I'm surprised it didn't install Comrade while it was at it. So yeah, there you have it. Borderlands. It's available now on Steam and should be in stores pretty soon too, if that's how you like to buy your PC games. So
You can call me
yeah,
Zed.
Thanks, Dr. Zed.
No one else does.
take it, Dr. Zed.